Hello there, good afternoon or good evening or perhaps good morning wherever you may be. It's afternoon here where I am. It's about 4 o'clock. Today we're talking about rabbits. Yes, you heard me right, rabbits. They're extremely nice and furry animals. Contrary to some beliefs, they are not rodents. No, they're not. They don't belong to the Rodentia order. They belong to the Lagomorpha order. This is because a rabbit has 4 incisors. Those are teeth which help you to cut through the food in the upper jaw. And they have 2 non-functional teeth, while rodents have only 2 incisors. So although some people might believe that rabbits are rodents, they are not. There are different types of rabbits. Another common type of rabbit is a hare, which is slightly bigger, leaner and faster. So rabbits are considered to be mammals. So why are we talking about rabbits today? Apparently, according to an article on the CNN, 24 rabbits took over Australia. Yes, that's the whole of the continent. So the article says that in 1859, a Christmas gift of 24 English rabbits became the most devastating biological invasion in Australian history. This is according to a new study by the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science. While rabbits are not native to Australia and are considered to be an invasive species, farmers say the animals multiply quickly and destroy their crops and land, which can lead to massive soil erosion and other environmental issues. Biological invasions are a major cause of environmental and economic disruption, according to researchers. And the colonization of Australia by the European rabbit is one of the most iconic and devastating biological invasions in recorded history. Using historical accounts, researchers were able to piece together genetic evidence linking this invasion to English rabbits imported in 1859 by a settler named Thomas Austin, tracing the population back to Austin's birthplace in England. According to historical records, Austin had started off with just 24 rabbits on his sprawling Melbourne estate. But within 3 years, the animals had multiplied into the thousands and kept on breeding, researchers noted. Our findings show that despite the numerous introductions across Australia, it was a single batch of English rabbits that triggered this devastating biological invasion, the effects of which are still being felt today. That single event triggered this enormous catastrophe in Australia, the fastest colonization rate for an introduced mammal ever recorded. While Austin was not the first person to introduce rabbits to Australia, 5 of the animals had been aboard the first fleet of British ships that reached Sydney in 1788, and at least 90 more importations were made over the next 70 years. It was the descendants of his 24 rabbits that would come to dominate the continent, the study found. And it concluded that nearly all of Australia's 200 million wild rabbits can be traced to that fateful shipment he received in 1859. Environmental change may have made Australia vulnerable to invasion, researchers said, but it was the genetic makeup of a small batch of wild rabbits that ignited one of the most iconic biological invasions of all time. The researchers also studied how the population of rabbits had managed to survive and thrive in Australia's harshest wilderness. Genetic analysis revealed that unlike earlier Australian rabbits, which displayed domesticated traits like tameness, floppy ears and fancy coloured fur, rabbits descended from Austin's brood had a large amount of wild ancestry. If animals are bred for domestication, one of the things they lack is the anti-predator behavior, which is both learned and also evolved, according to Mike Letnick of the University of New South Wales. Rabbit plagues have occurred several times throughout parts of Australia for decades. The continent is still struggling with its wild rabbit population today. The report its researchers said, showed the importance of maintaining strict biosecurity in Australia. These findings matter because biological invasions are a major threat to global biodiversity, and if you want to prevent them, you need to understand what makes them succeed. The events serve as a reminder that actions of just one person or a few people can have a devastating environmental impact. So that's the story of rabbits in Australia. If you ever happen to go to Australia, at the airport you'll be asked to open up your bags. They will swipe you, they will check each and every garment, and if you are carrying anything which you're not allowed to, you will be heavily fined, because Australians have learned from this experience that they cannot let in any alien species. So every time you go to Australia, you will be searched thoroughly, and so I would suggest that you do not carry anything biological or, worse still, alive. Otherwise you might become the next Thomas Austin. Just in case you were wondering, you don't need to carry any animals there. Australia is full of wildlife, from crabs to highly dangerous insects, big sharks, and I suppose even whales somewhere around the south coast. So you don't really need to carry anything, just carry yourself, your luggage, and make sure that you're going in there all clean. Hope you like this podcast. If you're listening to it on Spotify, if you are listening to this podcast on one of the providers, you will find the same podcast on YouTube channel as well with the subtitles. If you like seeing the words that you are listening to, that would be the place to go. Do give me a follow and subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. If you have a request, drop that in the comment and I'll get to that. Have a fantastic day and I shall speak to you soon. Goodbye for now. Peace.